What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the very first episode of my poker vlog. Probably sitting there wondering, who is this guy? What is his channel? Why am I here? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Tommy. I'm a recreational poker player here in Tampa, Florida. I've been playing poker, serious poker, for about 5 or 6 years now. I play strictly no limit Texas Hold'em, anywhere from 1-2, 1-3, a little bit of 2-5. That's an arena I'm looking to get further into. Secondly, what is this channel? Well, like I said, this is going to be a poker vlog. I'm going to be able to break down hands that I've played. I played a couple different casinos here in Tampa. I also travel a lot. So if there's a poker room to be found, wherever I'm at, I'm going to find it. Thirdly, why am I here? Why did I make this channel? Well, first and foremost, I love poker. It is one of my favorite things in the world to do. Secondly, I've been inspired. There are a lot of great vloggers out there, a lot of poker vloggers who have amazing content. I've learned a lot from them. I've grown as a player from them. Shout out to them, Johnny Vibes, Brad Owen, Angel Nemi, Jamin Burton, Keith. If you love poker, check those guys out. They have amazing content. Like I said, I've learned a lot from them. I guarantee you get value from that. So why am I making this channel? Predominantly, I want to get better as a poker player. I've had a pretty good winning percentage over my short career, and I just want to get better. I want to make the jump into bigger stakes. Like I said, I played pretty much low stakes right now, 1-2, 1-3, but I want to make the jump and I want to get better. And if I have my own content, if I have video playback to take a look back on, I can get better and learn from my mistakes, and hopefully have you guys learn as well. Learn from my mistakes. If you're looking for a professional player who's going to kill it every time and be a perfect player, that's not me, guys. I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes, and I'm looking to learn from that. I want to be part of a community. I want your feedback. I want to discuss hands with you guys. So please, after this video, comment down below. Let me know what you think. With all that being said, let's get right into it. This session, I'm playing 1-2 No Limit Hold'em at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa, Florida. Let's go. Alright guys, in this first hand we get dealt pocket queens in the big blind. Cutoff decides to make it 8. The button makes the call. I decide on a pretty standard 3-bet in this situation. Raise it up 2.5x. I make it $20 to start. Cutoff goes into tank, thinks about it a little bit, decides to fold. Same with the big blind. He ultimately folds and take down a small pot. Alright guys, in this next hand we get 3-4 of hearts in the small blind. Middle position raises it up to $11. Not going to fold here, going to defend my blind. I make the call. And we're heads up to a flop. Flop comes 2 of spades, 5 of clubs, 9 of hearts. We're open-ended, have a backdoor flush draw. I check. You can make an argument to raise here, but that's not what I do. Jack of hearts comes on the turn. I raise to 10 with my still open-ended and now a flush draw. He raises to 20. I make a call. I'm not going anywhere. The turn brings the ace of spades. We complete the straight. We have the wheel. I decide to raise to $35, about half pot. Middle position goes into the tank, but ultimately finds the call here. We show the wheel. We take down a nice sized pot. Alright guys, in this hand we get King of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, and a straddle pot. We are under the gun. At this particular casino, you can straddle in any position. The button takes priority. Seat 1 decides to straddle. There are 4 callers. I decide to open it up in this situation. I open it up to $15. Looking back on it, I'm not thrilled with my bet sizing here. King of Hearts, Queen of Hearts is a decently strong hand, but under the gun in a multi-way pot, out of position, this hand doesn't play that well. I felt like I should have raised it up to $25 to $35. Try to take this down right now pre-flop. I didn't do that. I opened to 15. With that being said, we get 5 callers to a flop. The flop comes pretty favorable for us. It's 6 of hearts, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts. We have 2 overs to the board, second nut flush draw. It gets checked to me. I decide to open it up to $35, about half pot. Only the button makes the call. We are now going to be heads up to a turn. The turn comes at the 9 of clubs. We don't improve. We still are drawing to the second nut flush. We have 2 overs to the board. I decide to continue my story. I bet $75. Second I make the bet, the button is instantly counting out chips, looking at me for a live read. He ultimately does make the call though. The river brings an absolute brick. It's the 2 of diamonds. We completely miss. I go deep into the tank about what to do. I hate my turn size betting at this point in time. I wasn't paying enough attention to stack sizing. He's only got about $75 to $80 behind there. I should have jammed on him on the turn, put him at a decision at that point in time, and possibly taken down the pot then. I don't see any combination of hands where he has a 6. I put him on a mid-level pocket pair, 7s, 8s, possibly even 10s in this spot. I don't think he has
kings or queens, I have blockers to both of those. I don't think he has aces because he would have probably 4-bet me pre-flop with aces or raised in that scenario at all, which he did not. I don't, like I said, I don't see any combination of hands where he's going to be folding to any bet size here. He's pot committed. I ultimately decide to wave the white flag and I check. He quickly turns over his hand, shows pocket fives. We throw our cards in the muck. We lose a decent sized pot.
Couple hands later, we look down at king queen off in the cutoff. Couple limpers. Comes down to me. I decide to open the betting to $10. We get one caller. It's heads up to a flop. Flop comes 10 of spades, 9 of diamonds, 4 clubs. Early positioning checks to me. I decide to c-bet here for $17. Player thinks about it for a minute, folds his hand, we take down a small pot.
Alright guys, this next hand is pretty interesting as it plays a pivotal role for a hand later on in the session. I'm in middle position. I look down at a small pocket pair, pocket sevens. With these kind of hands, I like to get into a flop as cheap as possible. If I flop a set, I'll bet for value. If I completely miss, I'll fold. There are a couple of limpers. The big blind decides to raise it up to $8. I'm not going to fold in this spot. My hand's decently strong. I continue for the 8. We are 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 9 of hearts, 4 diamonds, 5 of spades. Quickly gets checked to me. I open up to $10. Seat 1 in the hijack quickly re-raises to $55. It's a pretty big size bet. I haven't played with this gentleman that much. I didn't know if he'd be getting tricky in this spot. Pocket sevens is decent for this board texture. It's a pretty dry board. He may very well have me crushed with a high pocket pair. I ultimately decide to fold here reluctantly. I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments, but I try to look for a better spot in position, but I do make the fold.
In this next hand, we find ourselves in the big blind with Jack 9 of diamonds. There are 5 limpers. I decide to open the betting for $10. The button and small blind both call. 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes Queen of Hearts, King of Hearts, 6 of Spades. We find ourselves having a gut shot in this situation. I decide to lead out and I bet $15. The button calls, small blind folds. We are heads up to a turn. The turn comes, the 7 of diamonds. The turn doesn't help us, but we decide to continue betting here. We bet $45. The bet gets through, the button folds, we take down a decent sized pot. In this next hand, we're in the hijack. We find ourselves with ace-9 of hearts. I decided to open for $8 in position with a suited ace. We get 2 callers. Let's go to a flop. The flop comes queen of hearts, 10 of hearts, 3 of spades. We flop the nut flush draw. Early position decides to raise to 20. Middle position quickly calls. An argument can be made to 3-bet in this spot with a nut flush draw. I decide to just call on flat and just go to a turn. The turn is a dream card. It's the 4 of hearts. We now have the nut flush. Early position, middle position, quickly check, scared of the flush. I decide to check back here, under rep my hand, with every intention of bombing the river. The river comes, the 4 of clubs, does pair the board. I feel I have the best hand. Early position bets 25, middle position quickly calls. I jam all in for my remaining $120. The early position goes deep into the tank. He does make the call for the remainder of his stack. Middle position insta-folds. I show the nut flush. He mucks his cards. We double up, take down a great sized pot. Okay guys, this next hand shows the importance of understanding table dynamics of previous hands. I look down at ace queen under the gun. I decided to limp it in this spot. Middle position, seat 1 raises to $11. This is the same guy who bet over pot when I had pocket sevens. During the session, I'd seen him raise flops, over betting flops in position. He'd done this at least 4 times. The situation, the flop comes, ace of diamonds, 9 of hearts, 4 of clubs. I decide to open up with my top pair, great kicker, to $20. Seat 1 quickly re-raises me to $65. He overbets the pot. Like I said, I've seen him do this light before. I decide with a top pair with a great kicker to jam all in for my remaining $160. He quickly calls, says if you got me, you got me. Shows ace jack off. We get a clean run out. We double up. We take down this pot.
All right, guys, that's it for this session. In for 200, out for 465. Not a bad session. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. I'm going to try to put out about 2 or 3 videos a month, depending on what I got going on. So please subscribe, stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.